How do I keep track of the money that comes in? This is important for a few different reasons. Number one, when I first started my different practices, and that's the case for almost all businesses, you're just like, okay, well, let me just get somebody through the door. Let me just make my first dollar. Again, back to the proverbial $20 bill. Let me get my first dollar. Let me just go. And then you start going and you're like, oh, okay, I got some more folks coming in. That's cool. And then you're like, wow, a lot of folks are buying right now, but why does my bank account look like? Why does a business account something? And then suddenly you realize that there's certain systems you need to start putting in place. Now, putting them in place from the beginning sometimes can be helpful. I'm a big systems guy. That can be helpful. But sometimes you don't know if your business or your thing is going to work enough for you to create a whole system around it. Kind of like hiring a virtual assistant for a business you haven't started yet. It's like, well, you might eventually need a VA, but you're just starting. But if you're looking to make more profit in 2024, you need to have an infrastructure in place to do so. I am constantly building my infrastructure. There's some weak points I have here. I'm literally working on those every single day. So even for myself, even though I'm a coach, even though I've been through some stuff, ups and downs financially, even though I've sold my companies, I'm still going through that too. This is not a linear process. It's almost like a three-step process, but you're going through the cycle. I look at every year as going through the cycle over and over again. If you're having challenges keeping track of your money, or you're kind of trying to play catch up right here, a great example would be QuickBooks. I mentioned them before. I got into QuickBooks when I was actually living in the South. So I was living in New Orleans, and I was doing my own taxes. And it was just this period of time when I was like, this is too much. I'm doing too many things. As I talked about, I've been a long time freelance journalist. And as a freelancer, you might have, if you're having a decent year, you might have a dozen to 2 dozen clients. So you got receipts, stuff all over the place. I used to do a lot more traveling. And so I traveled to Japan to cover a video game conference. All those receipts or things related to it. I'm not a tax preparer, so don't quote me on this. But at the time I was doing it, all those things were at least partially tax deductible under I think it's a meals and entertainment uh, portion of taxes. Whole nother discussion. But how do I keep track of those receipts? And I was still pretty young too, so it was like I wasn't organized in that way. I started using QuickBooks way back then, old school QuickBooks. Like, right, there was no broadband or nothing. It was just, I think you might have to get a CD if I remember correctly. I don't even think it was a DVD that far back. They are super old school until recently. Now they'll actually will help you with the tax preparations. I believe they will help you with the receipts. And there's all kinds of automated systems, way more complicated than I can get into in this episode, that actually will help you get yourself off the ground. This is a referral link. So if you follow this link, you get to support the show. And then also you get some type of bonuses related to my partnership that I have with QuickBooks. I'm sharing them because they got me out of some challenges when I was in over my head trying to get my taxes and receipts organized way back when I was living in New Orleans ages ago. So I know they're good on their work and they're good on their word. And they're also a lot stronger as far as the software that they're doing nowadays. All kinds of stuff that they're working on. Click on the link. Even if you don't purchase from them, at least find out what's happening. If you're going to level up your profit, you need to know how much is coming in and how much is going out. That's literally the definition of profit. If it's not QuickBooks, get some type of system that's going to help you along your way to get you to where you need to be, and ideally to stay there. And one of my favorite episodes, there's a lot of favorite episodes I'm sharing in this live, how to make infinite freelance money. It is not clickbait. It's not clickbait. I went back and forth on the title of it. I was like, people are going to think it's clickbait. It's not. It's not. It's not. Would not BS you on this. I have a 3 bucket system that keeps freelance money coming in. A lot of y'all who are freelancers who have been veterans like myself for a while, you're familiar with what I'll be going to be talking about in the video. But if you're new to freelancing or you're not sure how to keep the money flowing, be sure and check out the video. It's extremely short. That episode is about 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes long. It's short on purpose because it was one of those things where I was either talking to a colleague or maybe it was a new freelancer I was talking to. And I was like, oh yeah, you do it like this, that, and that. And they just kind of looked at me and I was like, oh, I need to make an episode about this. I need to pass this on. The stuff in this episode I learned the hard way. I'm trying to give it to y'all in 4 minutes. Be sure and check out the episode. As you see me beaming, I love the episode and I'm happy to kind of help y'all get to the next level. That's it for all the questions. If you had a last minute question as I wrap up, be sure and throw it in there. But I hope it gave you some insight and some game. Come through on Monday. When, see, I told you I was having tech issues. Give me a second. There we go. This Monday, 1:11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Vegas time. It's me being interviewed and also interviewing James Oliver Jr. of Parentpreneur and Kabila fame. We're going to be talking about how I got the Bring Your Worth show, BringYourWorth.tv, from a few hundred subscribers exactly a year ago to the 18,000 plus that are rocking with us now. Be sure and check it out if you're interested in any types of stuff in that thing, for sure. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I hope it gets you to the next level, especially I'm familiar with your work. So particularly with the creative stuff that you're doing, there's so many of us that are creators that are just trying to get by like Talib Kweli, right? And what I'm trying to do is give as much insight as possible so that more of us can make a living, or at least a partial living, in the creating that we're doing, and that we can keep showing up year after year to support the communities that we're in this for. So thank you. I'm glad the insights are getting you where you need to go. Bring Your Worth show every Wednesday and Sunday, 1:11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Vegas time. I'm going to be live every weekday this month, and I will see you all on Monday. Be sure to subscribe if you like the content. Until Monday, remember, you can always bring your worth. You can always build from now. Take care of yourselves.